What's up, guys? Shawnthebro here, and let me get this off your screen already so that I don't, do that thing where I sit there for 5 hours and you guys can just see the same screen for like 30 times as it does Streamception. Hey guys, how's it going today? Wait, give me 1 second. I forgot my water on my chair. Grab that before we get started. As I start talking here, I'm gonna want to have that. You guys know I drink a ton of water, which is good, but if I don't have it, then it feels a little weird. Do an audio test. As I start talking here, I'm gonna want to have that. Okay, I think we're good. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But we're just gonna go ahead and get started. I know we've been sporadic with on and off Fridays for Twitch, so I appreciate those that are here and those that have been coming by. Apologize for that. I've been trying to figure out if it's better to do it on YouTube or Twitch. I much prefer streaming on Twitch. It makes my life easier, and I can actually do more with it than I can on YouTube. But YouTube is where my programming friends are, so it seems like that would be the better place to do it. So I've been on and off. It'll have a permanent home within the next 2 weeks or so. But for now, we're gonna be doing it on Twitch again. And this will be uploaded to the Shawnthebro 27 YouTube channel, which we can, well, we'll talk about that. I'll show you. I'll just show you later. It'll be easier. So we did some fun stuff last time. I'm actually really excited because I don't ever sit down and just literally pick a random topic and do it. So, like we did this door that gets triggered by stepping on these little pressure plates, which I thought was a pretty darn cool little thing. I mean, it's very simple, admittedly, but I thought it was a cool thing. We made our HUD. We have these boulders that can be used to kill enemies if used correctly. Like, there we go. We can jump on the enemy and kill them. We have pickups now. We have a teleporter. We can go to other levels. We got a lot of options here. So we've been making some pretty good progress here. And yeah. What we're gonna do today, I gotta be honest, I don't have a full plan or agenda for today. But what I would like to do, actually give me 1 second. I just realized that I never responded to this Discord message. I should do that. I got distracted, which happens very easily. Okay, there we go. Take this real quick. Excellent. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let me just copy this link. All right. So there we are. All right. Let's get started. I don't have a specific plan in mind, as I mentioned, but what I would like to do, and just something that popped into my head, is like keys and items that can follow you around, and those items that are following you around should be able to actually interact with other things, like doors, if it's a key, or if it's like a cannonball you can load into a cannon. I mean, very specific examples, but I'm thinking of games that I played where I saw this. Here to say hi, I'll be back in the chat after my stream at 7:30. Hey David, nice to see you. Thank you very much. I do have your stream open. Obviously, I can't type in it just the way my setup is. I'm not as advanced as you, where I can type in it and stream at the same time. But I do have your stream open. So, okay. Switch character die. Alright, let's get started and let's just do that. I think that can be something that can be a blueprint only object again. Again, would it be better to be code? It would probably be easier to work with, admittedly. So let's do it then. First of all, this level needs to get a little bit bigger. We're packing a lot into this, so quite frankly, these can just get moved. I mean, we're gonna want even more space than this though. We're gonna want more just level space in general. But we can do something over here for now. Basically, we're gonna have an object, and again, I don't have a great amount of options here, but we'll just make a new blueprint class, and we'll make it an actor, and we'll say, I just realized something. Hold on. I almost wonder if base pickup BP doesn't have anything in it, right? Okay, so you know what? We're just gonna make it a child of base pickup BP because we only destroy as a child. Jack, good person. Hey, nice to see you. Praise the sun. Right off the bat. Let's go. How are you doing today? Yeah, so let's go ahead and make a child blueprint class off of the base pickup BP, and we'll call this like key BP. Okay, now as far as this looks, how this looks, we'll do, you know, we definitely have to change that. I don't know what to make it look like as of yet. Maybe I'll make it wood. Do I have something other than a chamfer? I doubt I have like a key in the we have a statue. That could work. Like a wooden statue. What kind of statue is that? Dude. Okay, that can be our key. It is a, quite a strange key, right? Sean confused about, I mean, honestly, what kind of statue is that? Okay, whatever. That's what we're gonna use as the key. So, let's say we have a key somewhere in the scene, and I just made this a little bit bigger. We can place this stuff wherever. It makes pretty much zero difference. The only thing that we have to make sure of is, like, it's at 1200, so this needs to be at 1200. Now, its type, though, I have its type here. We should, if we're going to do the pickup thing with the type, then we should add a different type. So I'll just go ahead and add a new one and call it like E key item. As opposed to just key, but just key item. Something that we're going to bring around to deliver somewhere else. Okay. That'll probably ruin my enums because that's what enums like to do. They like to break all your other enums. Go. Wait for this to build. Sometimes it takes its time. And yes, I did not update Unreal and Visual Studio. I mean, I have the updated versions, but I made it in this other version for some reason because I'm bad. You know, feel free to call me out for that. Alright, yeah, probably broke everything, didn't it? Actually, it did not. Oh, because it didn't hot reload, did it? I bet that's what happened. Yeah, when you try and switch structures or enums, a lot of times they both kind of hate you afterward. So you recompile and usually close and reopen the editor. And after that, you usually still have to do a bunch of garbage. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna make the room a little bit brighter in here. I didn't realize how dark it was. So it's weird because daylight savings time has made it a little bit brighter in here, or brighter outside, but I have some spots where the sun can come in, and because of that, I don't know, you won't be able to see it from here. I'm watching myself. You won't be able to see it from here. But I have something that's reflecting off of, and it just, there's straight black. Well, it's not, like, it's pretty lit in here. But now that it's white in here, you can see a lot better than when it was just the shadow. So hopefully that looks a little bit better. Alright, so yeah, I don't want to make this like, yeah, okay, so it's gonna want me to close the editor. Don't worry, this is normal. Unreal just hates using code for this stuff. You can actually use a byte, or do they call it a byte in this case? I forget what they call it in this case. They might call it like a UB, like literally UB. But Unreal likes using that compared to the int8, but it's fine. Okay, the key item. Okay, it actually. The question is, did it break everything else? Wow. Okay, I can't believe this stuff is actually still working, but that's fine. So now we got our key, and most importantly, we're gonna open the full blueprint editor. Now the parent doesn't actually have anything in it, which is fine. But now we know that the collision settings should be right in all of the static mesh, which means we should be able to run into it and pick it up. And you can see that it is generate overlap events and overlap all. So because of that, what we can do is, you know, as usual, do our on-component begin overlap. So when we collide with this, we check if the other actor is our character, because we don't want to just get rid of, you know, do the logic for the key for any random AI or whatever walking into it. And then I think what we should do is attach the key to a specific spot on our character. So we have a cool little thing where it follows us around, kind of outside of our body, but it's kind of stuck in a spot. And if you know, you've seen this before, where you have something like following you, could be anything. I'm trying to think of a good example, but like a familiar, since we're on the topic of Castlevania or something like that, and it's actually following your character, but it's not really static there. It's like kind of moving around. So that's done with an animation on top of the attachment. It's pretty good stuff. You can actually use an AI. It's not really a flocking AI behavior, but it kind of is. It follows you around and has some variance in it. But we can make it pretty simple right here. We don't need to go to that level today. I just need to remember where this is at. I apologize. There we go. So what we can do is we can go to our character here, and we can go to his skeleton. Which I'm trying to remember. I mean, we can just do it right from here, but I'm trying to remember. I think you can do this without issue on the mannequin, on the default skeleton, but we will try it. And what you can actually do, it's a little bit of a hack, okay? But I've actually used this for quite a bit, and I've started to really enjoy using this method. So if you go to somewhere, like I'm trying to find a good spot. I'm not very good at knowing the bone names because I'm not very good at using these skeletons. Okay, so that's not what we want to do. But what we can do is, I guess the clavicle is a pretty good bone for this. We can right click on it and add a socket, and I'll call this key item socket. And now we don't have to put this on his body, as funny as that sounds. You can actually put an offset on a socket and it will stay there. So if we want it to kind of follow behind him, we can do something like this, where we keep the socket outside, and then we can actually attach this item to socket, which I believe the easiest way, it changes through different versions, so you have to forgive me for a second. But the parent actor is this, target is self, the socket name is key item socket. Yep. And we can keep everything relative for now. But let's see. Okay, so hold on. This is something I continuously get wrong, no matter what. I can never remember which one I should use in this case. So keep world is when it attaches at that socket where it's at already. I think if we do snap to target. So it snapped it right to, you can see it's in a very unfortunate location right now. Oh, I went to the next level. Wow, okay. So it should be key relative. I'm just trying to remember. There's a few things. I've said this before, but these tutorials are really good for jogging my memory because there's a lot of things I do and I don't remember exactly how to get it where I want it. Like this is one of them. So the socket. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. There is a way to tell which one is which and to get it in the exact spot you want, even if it's off the body. I actually did a tutorial on it. It's just been so long ago. It's been about 2 years. No, about a year ago now, because I started this about a year and a half ago. I'm trying to remember the specific way, but what I might do instead is do the animation technique I showed you about, if we can't figure this out in a reasonable amount of time. Just like, we'll give it like 2 minutes. I don't want to waste a lot of time on it. This is just extra flair. Attaching it. So I almost wonder... is it because of the... I think it is because of that. Because if we do keep world, you can see it keeps where it was attached. Yeah. Yeah, so that ignores the socket. So that's the problem, is that it's staying inside instead of going to that new location. There is another thing we can do as opposed to a socket I can show you in a minute. To the attach point. Yeah, I mean... That sounds like that would be the best one, but that just puts it like literally in the worst spot. So the other thing we can do, give me 1 second. Another thing we can do is sometimes I like to rip this completely out and put it on root. And while that's kind of bad in terms of this, remember this is just a hacky method for now, so we can kind of visualize what we want it to look like. And we will want it to be something like this. Do that. No, it just does that. Okay, weird. So I can't remember exactly how to get it to where I want it to go at the moment, and that's alright. I'll just keep going. I'll show you what we're going to do with it. I'll leave this here just as a reminder to myself that I want to do this. Let me save that. And this, we can keep the socket, but doesn't really matter either way. Regardless, so what we want to do is now we have this key item that we pick up, right? And I guess the best way to do it, I'm trying to think. So there's a few ways we could do this where it depends. It really heavily depends on how often these items are going to be used. So if it's like a one-time thing, this one specific level, you want to have this pickup. Well then, you know, you might want to have just a boolean and just trigger the logic when you're there on the actor. But what we could do is, you see how we have key item. Instead of just, we don't have to change the enum, but we could actually get the class that it is to get the specific item. So it's a key item. Once we know it's a key item, we can get the specific class, like if you need like diamond key over ruby key or something. And then we could determine if the player is if that is currently attached to the player, or really, I guess what would be a better way in case there's ever some sort of detach that occurs would be to, I guess, on the door itself, check when the trigger occurs. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So we can go ahead and do that. Let me kind of set something up here because we got, like I said, we have all this. We have all these things we want to do, and we have no room. There we go. Now we have a lot more room, a lot more playground that we can walk around here. Are you right in the way? Because you're gonna get deleted. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. So now what we'll do is we can essentially use the door blueprint. In fact, we can use the door blueprint. We don't even have to make another one if we didn't want to. I am going to make another one so we can differentiate them more easily and just kind of drag them into the scene whenever. But we'll make it a child. Before we do that, I want to make a... just make a boolean and say is locked. And basically, this will be triggered. This won't be set, you know, in the graph, really. We'll just kind of trigger it here in the default value if it's supposed to be a door that requires a key or some sort of unlocking mechanism. So we have our door BP who's got that variable. We now create a child class of this guy and say, you know, we'll call it something special. So we'll say bronze key door, because that is a bronze key. So then we can kind of differentiate. So the first thing I'll do is I will change the sorry, not the mesh. I was looking in the wrong spot. I can change the material. It doesn't have to be bronze to fit, but that might be good. That's rust. That does not really look bronze. I don't think there is like a bronze. Is there a copper? There is. There's a copper. Is the copper what we were using for the key, by the way? No, we use wood for the key, so we should probably use... But regardless. So now, you know, we can easily distinguish that this is a bronze door, right? And because of that, you can see that the regular door is just this plain, like, wood color. And we can put a bronze door, the bronze key door specifically, at 1200. And if we walk into this, it won't do anything by default because we don't have like the pressure plates here, and the door's not going to just respond to us. It's going to intentionally block us. You making a game, homie? Yeah, we are. Hey, nice to see you. So we're just kind of playing around. I'm just having a fun time, not making anything specific. We've just been making a bunch of features over the last few streams. That way we can kind of, you know, make something with it at the end that's fun. Hopefully it's fun. But we have a bunch of different features, like this rolling ball that you can use to crush people, pressure plates that open doors. Right now I'm working on a door that requires a key, or it doesn't have to be a door, just any item that requires any gate, you know, progression stopper that requires something like a key, a different random item. Like I have a statue right now, which is the only model I have in here. So I'm like, that'll resemble our key. This is like a coin. We got a teleporter, and yeah. So we're just playing around. It's kind of like a sandbox right now, but we are making a game. Theoretically, the goal would be to just make a bunch of features, and then when we're done, when we decide we're happy with the series, I'll throw some levels together and we'll have some fun with it. That's dope. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. It's pretty exciting. It's just fun stuff. I mean, I love coding. So doing it kind of just for fun, and anyone who wants to hop in and check it out for a bit is welcome. It's just a fun thing. I just like it. Let's make this a little bit bigger because he is the king of tiny right now. I think one's gonna be way too big. the giant key that is as big as the character we were playing as. I'll make it like 0.8. This should be pretty good. Still pretty darn big, but I guess the key is a very important item. Again, I don't even know what that's apparently a statue. I'm like, I don't know what kind of statue looks like that. I'm not buying any statues that look like that. But anyway, so now we have our bronze key door. That's what we're referring to this as. And basically, we're going to need a key to be able to do that. Depending on our use, we can, you know, do this a few different ways. So if we have like 80 different keys, then yeah, we probably don't want to do a boolean for each one. We probably want to either make them their enum or check the specific class. In this case, we could probably get away with a boolean, but we can also get away with the class if we attach it and we want to do it that way. So a good way to do that, just kind of proof of concept that we can, not necessarily I think it's the best way to do it. Let's still attach this to actor, even if we can't get it looking exactly how we want without a few further adjustments. We can still... I just closed the skeleton. I should not have done. Is it still in here? It is actually still in here. What we can actually do, give me 1 second. If we... Where the heck is it? There's so many bones on this thing. Weird. It's not really where I expected it to be. Well, regardless, what we can do is this. I'll show you what I was thinking. We can still attach this. We'll keep it world. That way we can just see it. And we'll figure out the attaching later to make it look nicer. But right now it'll go like this. So obviously he's not like actually holding it, which I'd like to attach it to a socket. For some reason it did not want to follow that logic. I'm sorry, I gotta try this again. I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to put it behind me, but there's just something that should work. Attaching to socket has never really given me trouble before. So let me look at this again. Left hand. So here's where your fingers are. So if I add a socket, which we should probably do it on the other hand, just so it's easier. We add a socket right here and say, it might have just been the bone we chose. So key item socket. Save it. Save the skeleton. Key item socket. That is so weird to me. Do I have logic in here? Do something with that? That might be the issue. Because usually this is not a problem. I've done this plenty of times. It's so weird. It could actually be the default mannequin. I usually do this with the Mixamo skeleton. That's what it is. That we might have to go get a Mixamo character. Okay, well we'll do that after because I'm positive I can get this working with a little bit of effort. But let's say that we did that. Okay, let's say we attached it for whatever reason directly onto into his stomach. Then what we can do now is we can wait until an overlap occurs with the character. This will bring a little bit of load off of the character, which I think is the better way to do it. And although we don't want actor begin overlap, which one? The interaction box, I believe, is the interaction box the one? Or is it the plane? I think the interaction box is the one that we used last time. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's the overlap one. Cool. So, what we can do is this. Y is this way. Why are you so tiny? Just because it's a child, I guess, huh? Well, he is really tiny. It's fine. I was going to try and showcase this. Make it look a little... Oh, wait. You know what? Is he a plane? No, this is a plane. This should just be a box. Well, whatever. I mean, that doesn't matter. I was going to try and visualize it for you guys, but I guess it doesn't want me to, so that's fine. Anyway. Sorry, I keep getting distracted on little things that don't really matter. But just because I want them to work, I'm like... If I could just show it, it would be so much better, but okay, it's fine. Anyway, what we can do is on this interaction box that we have, whoops, we can go ahead and do a overlap check on there. And we can check if we've overlapped with the actor. Now, the only issue with this will be, this will have to be farther out than the one that blocks. So just to verify we can even touch it now without adding a new object, let's go ahead and print a string. Save us headache later in case we need to make it bigger. We won't do any other checks. Okay, so we were able to hit it without issue, which is good. So now, what I can do is I can check, I can get attached actors. And you can either do get all attached actors or get attached actors. Either way is actually fine. And I can loop through them, you know, if we have more than one. And then we can actually check the class. And then we can check If that's equal, and then we can pick the class if we want manually. So we can actually look for the, sorry, not bronze, key BP. And then if it is, now another thing we could do is actually just cast to it, but we could save some time for failed and successful casts if we have a lot of attached components or attached actors by checking the class first and then grabbing and casting to the key. And then we can get its type. So say we wanted to have an enum, we can go ahead and make one. So I like to call these things like logic. If it's like enum or declarators, things like that. And we can make a new enum. I forget exactly where the enum is at because I don't usually make them in blueprints, but this is a good time to. Probably just blueprints, enumeration. There we go. It'll be e key enum. We can go in here and we can make it so we'll have like a default key, and we'll have a bronze key, and then we'll have, let's do one more and have like a silver key. So default would be like your wooden key or whatever, you know, might open a certain door, bronze key, silver key. And then the important part about this is that we can actually make a variable of that now. Key type. And we can make an key enum. And we can give it, we can assign the type here. This is key BP. So even if this is the parent one, then we can choose what key it is. So it should be default, to be completely honest, if we're going to be using that as the bronze key. But we'll just use default as a fall-through case as opposed to an actual key here. So we'll use the bronze key as the default, and then we can cast the type and see if it's equal to the type that we are looking for. And we can see if it's the bronze key. Then if it is, we can open the door. I think I have open door and closed door as events. I do, open door. That's what we wrote in the last one. And there you go, that should be our logic. Now, let's see if it works right off the bat. Can we get it working on the first run? Okay, so if we collide with this door, there you go, it opens. Now, I did not disable any of the colliders, so there's still a block all that's here upon opening it, so you can see that it actually does still stop me from walking through. However, you could see that the door opened, so it did work as intended. Allow me to look at the other door BP I have, and I'll fix that right now. So it sets the rotation. It must be done on the floor button then. No, it just rotates. It should be okay. I think what's going on is the actual statue is a little too big. Because I can walk through this one just fine. So what we can do is actually just call open door and test it out and see if it's an issue with the statue. This door in particular just does not like me. I want to see what happens if I'm standing in. Okay, it just literally doesn't care. All right. Here we go. Interesting. Are you in the right spot? Let's check that as well. Ah, the door is at 1150. That's what it is. Put this one at 1200. So that. Oh yeah. Okay. Duh. If I put it where it's directly in the spot in the center, then I won't be able to walk through it. That's intended. My bad. All right. So there we go. There we go. Now we can open the door with the key. You know, we could destroy the key at this point, unattach it, whatever, but now we can continue to progress. So there we go. We're looking pretty darn good at this point. We can now pick up items or something in the scene and bring it to a key object, such as a door or a gate or, you know, computer terminal, whatever, and then proceed logic from there. We also have the ability to change doors. And what we could do is actually just assign a variable here that we check for, and then all the other key doors can have the same logic without specifying, which would be good because, you know, otherwise I'm just going to copy this logic for each of them, which is going to be not the best way to do it. So, you know what, let's actually do that, just because I think that would be a lot nicer, and we can show how nice it is. So if we do key... So we'll just do the same thing that we did. It's a different variable, thank you. It's meant to be. So I guess we'll say door type, like, just so we don't get confused while we're using it. And it is a key type. And you know, we'll just make sure that they are equal. So this door, like the bronze door, requires the bronze key. But now what we can do is say we want a silver door. All we have to do is duplicate, or not duplicate, create a child blueprint of the bronze key door, silver key door. And you realize I do a few things a little unorthodox. I really should have just had like a locked door, and then bronze and silver should have been children. That way it would have been a little bit neater. But the important factor here is if I just make a child, I can set the door type, silver key, something like that. And now it'll look for a silver key. So a key type of silver, which means guess what? I have my key BP. I can duplicate this and say silver key. Wait. Sorry, I keep doing duplicate. Get rid of that. Let's create a child, and let's do silver key BP. And then I can save this, make it a silver key. And then I can go into my event graph. Sorry, I was trying to fix my phone there. It was... Every time I get a notification, it vibrates and falls off where I'm holding it. Actually, I don't need to do anything in the event graph. That's the beauty of it. But I do need to change this so that it looks silver. Metal. There we go. So it's chrome. And just because this is going to bother me, because this is actually like wood, let's go ahead and make this a copper as well. Okay, so now if I bring the silver key out, you know, maybe the silver key is obtained over here, just as an example. Now, hold on, I do need to be able to get to them without picking up the bronze key, just to prove my point here. So let's separate where these guys actually go. So the bronze key is there, which I also really don't like that placement. I'm being a little too particular right now, but go, something like that. Now I can choose if I want bronze or silver key, because I can jump up without touching the silver key, maybe. Well, whatever. Point is, we can get the silver key. So now if I put a silver door in, this will work. It'll be that simple. You can add as many as you want. Let's put the silver key door in. It'll be 1150. And let's see it in action. So let's grab the silver key first. Now, we have our regular door that can open. We have a bronze door that requires a bronze key. We have a silver key. We should not be able to open the bronze door, and we cannot. Let's go past it. Now, we have a silver door, which looks very similar. In fact, I don't think I changed the mesh on the silver door. But anyway, this is a silver door. We require a silver key. Touching it. Okay. I realize what happened. I realized I made the door and I did not change anything that I need. So first of all, chrome. Let's make this chrome so that we can tell them apart. And then also I need to change the default. Silver key. Wait, did I change the default? I may have changed the default. Silver key. Silver key. Door type. Okay, I did. I did do it. I'm not crazy. There we go. Really? Okay. Let's try this again. I want to do it with the... Oh. I really need to move that key. Okay, so can't open the bronze door. But we also can't open the silver door. Which... I don't know. I took out the hard code, right? Key equals... door type equals... and then open the door. This is a child of the door. And this should be a child of the bronze key door. Weird, okay. I would think that should work. Let me expose this real quick. I have a feeling I know what's going on here. Yep, okay. I know what's going on here. So, I forgot about this. I'll show you when let's get there again. We can fix it. No big deal. So, yep, it doesn't hit it. And then you're like, okay, wait, but why is this not hitting it? So, the problem here is that since we're doing a child component, you can see that the, yeah. Key door. You can see that the door is a silver key, and this is an attached actor, and that's what we've got. But the problem is it's not doing the begin overlap on the child because we're not overriding the logic. So it's going to the parent one, which is what we want, but it's a little bit different in blueprints and code. So let me show you what I'm saying here. So we can print this string. Whoops. Alright, so we got them both, but this should still work. So now if we hit this with the bronze key, it opens. And then, see, we have hello printing because the logic is overriding. But it's not opening with the bronze or silver key at this point because now we've overridden the logic and we don't have anything in there to call open. So watch what happens if we get rid of this and have both keys. So we grab both keys. Whoops. I really need a better level here. Okay, so. Ah, you're gonna block me. Okay, so you can see. Get out of here. You can see we can still open the bronze door, and we can't open the silver door. So it's not an issue so much with the actual logic of like, this is the type that we need between parent and child, but it's more an issue of the component interaction here. So there's a few. We got a few options here. Quite frankly, the easiest option is what I was trying to avoid by doing this door type, but we just copy and paste it. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't actually hurt anything. You doing this, if it's a child, it takes from the parent, but it still has to have access to that data. It's still going to run that logic. If anything, you might have this extra event that you're searching for, so that might, I won't say it won't hurt anything, but it's not a huge deal. It's worth it for now to showcase what we're trying to do. I don't know if I changed the value. I think I did. I did not. Or the silver door is a little bit more broken than I expected, which is also possible. Silver key door. Looks for this. Attached actors. Key BP. Cast to it. Key type. The key type. Default value is the bronze key, correct. We set it to be the silver key. Did it not update in here to be the silver key? I would imagine that it did, but just to be safe here. It is the silver key, okay. This is the bronze key. So silver key type should be silver key, and this should be looking for silver key. Interesting. Alright. Well, you guys are going to get to see some more debugging, just like you did last time. Let's go ahead and use our good old print string buddy. So we're going to make sure that it even is considered an attached object first. A good old hello should do the trick, because we just want to make sure that it's attached and it's registering the collision before we go any farther. It is doing that. So now, should succeed at this cast. I'm thinking it's failing at the class, but I could be wrong. So let's try it. Print string here. And print string here. Okay. Let's do it again. We only want to have the silver key at the moment. I have a feeling I just missed something stupid. I thought I am telling the truth about the component thing, but really? So yeah, it is failing at that class. That's what I expected, but weird. It is still a key blueprint. That's the funny part here. Does it only go one parent? Because that's an actor. This is a bronze key door. This is a key BP. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, base pickup BP. Key BP. Weird. So I guess it does it not look for child though? I don't know. Pass it out. Will always be valid. Well, it's not null. There's no way it's null. I don't think so. Well, what we can do is print out the name of this. But it should be. It might be complaining because it's a child of it. That's the only other thing I could think of at this point, but I was under the assumption that that would work. It works when you do it in code, if you do a cast using their get class function. So it would be weird if this doesn't work, but we're going to learn today. Let's find out. Silver key. Really? So it just doesn't work because it's a child of it. That's weird to me. I don't know, fella. I don't know about that. No. Wow. Okay. Weird. That is really weird. So if I made this silver key BP, it would work. See, this is blowing my mind because you can definitely count a child as a parent. So the child class is always going to be equal. Really? What? Why? So get class. Wow, I just learned something terrifying, actually, as far as blueprints go. So really, okay, well, you saw it here. No one will ever say that I didn't, you know, that I tried to lie to you or anything. I was just flat out wrong. I did not realize that it would not consider this class to be the same thing here. Well, we have two solutions at this point. First of all, if we already have it in the silver key door, we can just keep it like this. It'll work fine. We can also go ahead and add a class type. I think you can do this in Blueprint. You can definitely do this in code. Actually, you can't do it without a reference, I don't think, unfortunately. Oh, you can do class reference. Ooh, that might be good. I'm gonna try this. This is something I've never done before, so we're gonna do it together. So class reference. So PvP. Class reference. Class type. There we go. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. Why do I have to make it a reference of that class in the variable, but then I can choose the class type? Ugh. This is so weird the way it does it in here. Usually we'd be on our way by now if we did this in code. My apologies, guys. But this is all about learning, so I'm not sad about that. I feel very good that we figured that out, actually. I feel good that we learned that. I just am surprised that that's the way it decided to work. So at this point, so first of all, this should work, and then if this works, I should be able to actually get rid of the logic like I wanted to in the silver door. That way you can just create another door and let it fly without doing any additional logic. Yep, that works. Are you kidding me? What the heck? All right, so look, we're gonna get rid of all that. And now you can see there's nothing in the silver key door. This should still open it if I understand this correctly. There you go. Okay. All right. I see how blueprints are gonna work. But see, that's the thing. I'm so used to working with code, so I'm getting better with blueprints as I use them, and you're gonna run into snags like that. But man, I did not know that. Anyway, now you can just go ahead and make a door and a key, and you don't have to add any logic within them, and you'll be able to just add them and use them on the fly. So that was a pretty cool mechanic. That's one thing I wanted to do today. The other thing I'd like to do today is to stop my phone from falling over and over again. Now, I do want to fix the mannequin. I would like to, but to be quite honest with you, I think we're just gonna get a Mixamo character because I want to have animations that I can use. Now we can go on Mixamo. I don't think anything on there is data that I need to protect. Give me a second. I'm gonna throw up the be right back screen while I sign in to Mixamo. That way you can't see my actual information on there. But once we're on Mixamo, I don't think it'll be anything you guys can't look at. Okay, so log in. Here's my information. Let me double check account info. Everything is secure here. So I'm gonna bring it back to the live screen. And I'm gonna look at it on my phone just to see if this looks good. I think it will capture this window, but I have not actually tried. So give me a second, wait for the stream to catch up, and then I will let you know. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so Mixamo is a great place to get animations and things like that from. You know, models and things. So we're going to pick out our character today, and we're going to pick out some animations and get that working as well. We can also pick out enemy models and things. We may not do that today just because we're not really there yet, but we do want to pick our character. So first of all, I love this guy. He's actually in one of my tutorials. However, I don't want him to be the protagonist. He just feels more like an enemy. I think that's his intention. So we need to find someone we want our protagonist to be. We got Ninja. We got our Paladin here. Brady. Drayar. There's a lot of really good ones here. Ooh, this is giving off kind of Castlevania vibes. I don't know if he'd be the protagonist though. Looks more like kind of like a villain on that one. You know, horns usually are a pretty good sign. I think these are like zombies or something. Yeah. We could go with good old Knight D. Pellegrini, but I try and put a different character as the staple for each Morak. Okay. Let's go back. Let me do a quick sweep again. I have a few in mind. I just gotta figure out which one I might want to use. Okay. This is pretty cool. Gas mask guy. Oh, this would be a cool antagonist as well. We might be rolling with Exo Red on this one. This is a very popular one that gets used for a lot of cool animations. Big Vegas, I like that guy's name. Another cool one. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Paladin with the prop, actually, because I do want weapons to be something we can attach easily, and the way these skeletons are made sometimes have a slight difference. They have additional things based off of what they're holding. So I'll go ahead and go ahead. Let me see. Yeah, it should be good. Okay, we'll go ahead and use this one. So we're just gonna download it. It's pretty simple the way it works. You can do either of these. I usually do T-pose. I don't really know what the difference is, but I do know that they both work. I have tested the other one. Like, they both work within Unreal as well. Okay, so it should download. It should be a lot quicker than that, but I guess streaming is taking up a lot of bandwidth at the moment. There we go. So now we have our character. I am going to try to import him before we grab animations for him because I happen to have issues with some of the Mixamo models. So let's say character. Let's just say models, actually. And then There shouldn't be anything that you can't really see, so we'll just import it. And we'll bring this here, and I'll go to the, oh, that's the fighting game. That's not quite the right one. Yeah, there was nothing there that was secret or anything. Nothing's really secret, but I just don't want to have any information. So here we go. Now, moving him in there probably already imported it automatically. It usually does. I usually give it a second. Yes, we do want to import it. There we go. And now we don't want to have a skeleton because we want it to be used as the skeleton. So we do want to have the skeletal mesh and import the mesh. No smoothing group, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. That won't cause any issues. If anything, it might not look. It looks great though, honestly. Materials came in really nice and everything. So no concerns there. We got our character. I like to keep these names pretty much the same so that people can get their proper recognition. However, there's an actual issue with the names being too long when packaging, so I'm genuinely going to rename this. But I will try and keep it to get credit. So Nordstrom. I think the person's name is this. So I'll write JN. Paladin skeleton, and that saves a significant amount of characters compared to this, and so I like to rename them because the path you can have is actually very, very small. This is a problem because I like to put everything in folders, and there's ways around it, but it's just overall annoying. I forget what this even is. Like mesh or something. I forget what the actual name of that one is, but there we go. So now we have a new character in here, and we can use this now on the mesh. I mean, flat out, it can work on the mesh, but we do need to have the skeleton in here to actually, if we want to perform anything with it. So right off the bat, I'm going to make a character for it. And I am going to Twitch character, Twitch game character, correct. Say Paladin character. There we go. So now with this, we can go ahead and switch out the mesh, the inherited component for the JN Paladin mesh, move it to the correct spot. It's pretty much right on. It needs to be rotated about 90. Sorry, 270. Had it backward. And there we go. Now this mesh is in there. But we're going to need to apply an animation blueprint if we want to make it work. The only problem with that is we don't have an animation blueprint that will work for him. So we need to also make one of those. Oops. I see Unreal still has not fixed that. There we go. And now we'll make an animation blueprint using the Paladin skeleton and call it Paladin and MVP. There we go. So now we are good to go. The only problem is we don't have animations. So we will need to go ahead and add animations and add a state machine. I'm just getting everything set up because it is going to take some time. I want to copy everything over from the other NMBP they have because it's actually a good NMBP. I forget exactly where it goes. Here we go. Other than their disgusting state machines. They're disgusting Everything, actually. Everything about it is actually really gross. This should never look like this, I'm sorry to say. I know you're offering the service to us for free, but man, this is nasty. I have to be completely honest with you. Look at this. This should not look like this. Come on. Come on, everything about this is just not good. I don't want to waste too much time cleaning it up right now, so I will leave it mostly alone. But this one I cannot handle. This is just... The reroute nodes exist for a reason. There we go. Okay, there we go. So this is taking their state machine and just cleaning it up a little bit. But that way we don't have to rewrite all that. Now the only thing I have to do is copy this as well, the actual state machine. I mean, the logic is pretty simple. In fact, we will write our own state machine. Well, maybe I'll take the idle and run. Let me see, is it just a blend space? Yeah, it's a blend space, okay. We'll write our own on this one. Idle. Alright, so we're going to need an animation for idle, for walking, potentially running as well, and jumping and falling. That's what we'll get for today, just so we can set up this character for next time. We should still have some time left over as well, but it's going to eat up a good amount of time doing this, so I want to kind of get all this out of the way so we don't have to do it in the middle of the next episode. Okay. So, idle. Now, you can get the specific animation for this character. A lot of times they have it. I tend to just kind of pick whatever because I'm lazy and I just find things that are cool. What kind of idle is this? It's like sitting on something. I don't know if you can still do it. There used to be a way where you could click on the character and then find the animations that were meant for the character. Has changed a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes you can look up the name, but not in this case. I mean, that works. He's a little, I don't want him to look like that, but just looks a little unnatural. That's if he's shooting, which we don't really want that. But see, this takes a long time. I mean, even when I'm not going for the exact animations for the character, it can be quite a bit of work. Trying to get something, you know, you want it to look nice. And there's lots of really good animations, but... Okay. There we go. And that'll work. That's all we need. Just something where he looks a little bit, you know, So let's go ahead and download this. We're going to download this without the skin and at 60 FPS. Keyframe reduction is good as long as you do it across the board, so I'm going to do uniform. There are times when you can mix and match, but here's going to be our idle. And the name isn't always great. In that case, it is just idle, so it's nice. We need at least a walking. If we don't do a running, we need at least a walking. And the problem is, you don't want to make it, you don't want to do anything too weird where it doesn't look like the character. Like, we can make them walk in place. But this character probably doesn't walk like that. Cowering behind his shield. Strut walking. Some of these are really funny to look at like that. He could walk around like that the whole time. That would be pretty funny. Yeah, the walking is pretty much the same. I don't know. I'm assuming he does have a walking that is meant for him, but I guess one of these is fine. I just wish I had that pack. There's got to be like a paladin pack. Really nothing comes up when I type paladin. About Nordstrom. No, it really doesn't. Okay. Okay. Oh, fantasy. Fantasy would probably be. Here we go. Here's some of the animations. Sword, shield, and turn. Draw sword. That could be good. Block. Here we go. Here's a run. There we go. So there... We can get this for a run. I would like a walk as well. That's also a good idle. We could use the idle as well, but that's fine for now. Let's grab the... We'll grab the run. Is there also a walk somewhere? Yeah, there is a walk right there. Okay. Let's download this one first, and we'll call this Paladin Run. And we also have Paladin Walk. It's actually backward, but that's okay. Wait, did I have the other one in place? I feel like I didn't. Okay. I don't think I did have it in place, did I? I'll download that again just in case I didn't have it in place. Now the idle, I actually like the idle a lot. I think I'm going to use this as well. And then we'll just take out the old ones. So let's get rid of the original run, the original, we don't need the model anymore. Yeah, we'll just keep these like this and we'll do Paladin Run. Excuse me, Paladin Idle. Paladin Run. And Paladin Walk. Now we're also going to want to get the jump and all those. There's a lot of good ones here for this, so this is a good one. It's an attack though. Here we go, jump. That's the standard jump, and that's pretty good. Won't really show directional jumping very well, but might be as good as we're gonna get for now. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and put on the jump, and then we'll leave it at that for animations for now. It's crouching, jumping. Here we go. Cool. Now we should have some good animations here to put on our character. Call this Paladin Jump. And we'll take all of these and we'll copy them. We'll put them in the correct folder. And now all these should import. We're going to import them using the correct skeleton. And with any luck, they should have imported correctly. And we should be able to confirm that they did by clicking on the animation. Hey, what's up, Rule? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. We're just getting some animations for a different character. That way we can actually do more things than just use the mannequin. I think all these animations look good. There we go. We got all this stuff for the Paladin. Now let's start putting our animations in. So Paladin idle for idle. Simple enough. And we can let that animation loop. Now, that's pretty good. But we are going to want to make him actually move while he's moving. So first things first, we'll just have a move right. I guess we could say move forward. And we'll have a move backward. Because we'll still have him rotate. Ooh. I guess let's do move right, move left, because I don't think we need him to ever back up. It would be like he's going right, or we rotate him going left. Yeah, I think that's how we'll do it. So let's do move right. But then I realized if we just turn him, we won't need anything other than 1. It's not like the fighting game where we're going forward and backing up. So let's just do a move right, actually. And we'll also have this on loop. Walk right. Did you design the character yourself? I did not. The character, I can't do anything with characters. I am pretty bad at that. But I do have Mixamo. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's basically a free character resource. You're allowed to use these models and these animations for both private games and commercial games, or commercial projects even. So even if you're sitting there making money off of it, you're allowed to use these for free. They don't even require any credit. I like to give the artists and the people who worked on it credit anyway, just because it feels right. I mean, they did work on it and it's free, but it's a very good place. You can go pick out a bunch of characters, a bunch of animations, and it makes the games very, you know, you can bring them to life a lot with just a little bit of effort. Hey, hey, Grandma, nice to see you. Rule says, hey, I just want to get used to the time change. Hello there. That's okay. No worries. The time change is weird. It's weird for us, too. It's still light out. Still, it would normally be dark by the time I was getting out of work. Today seems to be exceptionally long when it's light out, because it was only an hour. But anyway. Hey, nice to see you. I got Snatchin' and Rule here. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by. Makes me so happy. Now we have walk right, and I'm going to put run right as well. Which I guess we don't even need like... Sorry, I'm so used to the fighting game, so I'm like trying different. We just need walk and run. Let's not... So run can also be on loot. I will put these... Oops. Now state machines get messy very quickly if you have a lot going to them. So I'll have walk and run like this. But we are going to need one more state for jumping. The problem with jumping is if you jump, then you have to also have a falling. Ooh, snatch and redeem show and tell twice. Okay, let's do it. I can't remember. You know, it's been a while. Been a while since we've done show and tell, so I can't always remember what I've shown and what I haven't. There is something I'd love to show you guys. So this is part one. I can't actually see the screen, so you're gonna have to bear with me for a bit. I'm gonna put it on Streamlabs. This is Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park, Funko Pop. I'm not a huge pop collector in particular. I just like any sort of action figure or anything. So pops are great, but I also like statues and all. But this is the Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, like soldier. I know I am wearing pants. I figured you would be, you know. I figured you would be very disgusted by that, and that's why I don't like to let you see down there, but I am in fact wearing pants. You know, I had to. You really do wear... No, they're not pants. You know, I retract my previous statement. These are not pants. These are actually, they're underwear that are made to look like khakis, so you can wear them out. So I apologize. I misspoke, so hopefully that makes it a little bit better, but yeah. And I think Grandma will appreciate this one as well. But yeah, that's something I really, really enjoy, really love. I don't usually keep them in the box. I much prefer having them out, but the box on that one is really cool. It's the actual box art. And then, if you want something else, so I don't think I've shown you guys this, so I'm going to do it now. But, if you guys are familiar with the anime 7 Deadly Sins, I'm not a huge anime guy. I have no problems with it. I actually really like it. I just don't watch a lot of TV, so I've not seen a lot of it. But if you guys are familiar with 7 Deadly Sins, I'm pretty sure Snatchin' is. I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before. I don't think I've shown you guys. I had custom Funkos made of the different sins. So we'll just start from the right, and you know, maybe if I'm feeling generous, I'll show more than one item. Take them off. Okay, you know what? I can do that off camera. I can just, you know, I just can't. You can't make me stand up again, though, guys. That's the problem, because I have no problem doing that. But here, I think you guys are familiar with 7 Deadly Sins, or you might be. So I've got King right here. The camera doesn't do a great job because of the lighting. I've got King right here. It's all right. King, and he's got his little spirit spear. And then we'll go through, because I'm pretty sure, I know at least Snatcher knows these. Now, I have Deanne as well. Now, the only problem with Deanne is her weapon actually broke off. Now, it's okay. It just fell off. It can be re-glued, but I haven't been able to re-glue it yet. Because it is quite heavy. It is a 3D printed weapon. So here's Deanne. You can see that's how her weapon's supposed to sit. Sorry. The way I have to hold her weapon kind of was masking her body. But there's Deanne. You can see here's her weapon. So. That'll be repaired at one point. You said Bon is better? Bon is better, though. Seems quite small. Oh, take them off? Yeah. I was like, the people have spoken about what? What seems small? I was like, hopefully you can't see that. You know, I thought I took those pants off away from the camera. Now, Snatchin' had said Bon is better, though. So, Bon is right here, chilling. I'm holding him by the hair. His hair is quite big, but he's got his little, I mean, for lack of, I think they're just like steel nunchucks, quite frankly. But there you go. I figured you might like that. And then I will show you, we'll do one more, and then we'll get back to it. I also have Meliodas with his chest open. Yeah, with his chest open is the coolest thing, the hole in the chest. I've got Meliodas in his demon. I don't want to say Demon King. It's not Demon King form, but like his demon form. The black kind of gets filtered out a little bit, so it's a little hard to see. But he's got his webbed feet almost, like where it consumes him at the feet. And he's got these little tendrils that pop off by his chest. You can kind of see it where my skin is. He's got his little symbol there. And they just look incredible, like, quite frankly. I'm very, very happy with them. Those are custom made, and I just love them. They came out so well. I got a bunch more. Put your hand... I don't know. Like, the problem is, I can't really hold it all that well. Can you see that? It does help with his legs and stuff, but you can't really see the tendrils all that well, just because the way they kind of go behind my hand on my right side. Hold him by the feet. I can't hold him by the feet. If I hold him by the feet, there's a tendril down there. Like, I gotta put very, very careful pressure on him. But like that. That should do it. That should be good enough. Now, one of his tendrils, it hasn't broken off, but it is a little on the weaker side. So I'm trying to be extra careful with him. Because it's just a little bit more fragile than a lot of the other body parts. And I've got hold him behind you. Right, hold him behind you. That should do it. But yeah, so that's Showtime. Hopefully you like that one. I know I'm pretty sure you're a big fan of that, so should be pretty darn cool. Okay, as for this, hold on. So alright, so the transitions for this. We could do the speed thing if we wanted. We could also just check if we're moving right or left as well. For now, what I'll do, because I'm being a little lazy, is just use the speed, see if it's greater than a specific value. Just literally if it's greater than 0, we'll plot. Well, something like this. Now the keyboard is going to give a direct amount, so it's basically going to invalidate anything less than that. But oh, yeah, that would also help. I need to make sure that the character that is spawning in the scene is the actual character that we want. So there's a few issues with that. They're not really issues, but things we're going to have to adjust real quick. So first of all, we're actually just spawning the character in the scene. Which we should not be doing. Really, the way you would do this is have a player start. However, it's not the end of the world. If we... Whoops, don't delete that, please. However, if we are to do this and put him at 1200, should be perfectly fine. He is... Okay, so he's in there. The game mode is spawning... Edit the game mode. We're going to switch the default pawn. I relaunch because I was launching through code. Okay, so oh, we're not even using a game mode BP, that's why. We're using just the flat out code class. Okay, let's go ahead and make the game mode BP because this will help us down the line. So we take the Twitch game mode, make a child of it, and call it base game mode BP. Not BPS, what the heck is wrong with me? No! There we go. And now we'll set this to be the blueprint that we use. And then also we need to go into that blueprint and we need to get rid of the default pawn class, or if we're not getting rid of it, we need to switch to the paladin character. We can do either or. So since we have this in the scene, the player start will spawn them at the default, or as the default pawn. So instead of having a character in the scene that gets auto-possessed, I can actually spawn a character based on the game mode that does this. So now, right off the bat, I mean, you know that it's not going to be as smooth because I have done nothing with the animations, but it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. I need to go back to the AnimBP, and I need to be able to go from walk back to idle if speed is less than the value. So if it's less than 0.05, then we'll return to idle. And you can see this works fairly well. I mean, the walking animation is not lined up with the actual walking. Plus, I'm pretty sure that the walk was actually a backward walk. It definitely looks like it's a backward walk. It totally is a backward walk. So let's refresh that animation by giving it a -1 play rate. Okay, I'm here now. Hey, dude. Nice to see you. And now you can see he's walking forward, walking forward. The thing is, we're just zooming, is what it is. And then to smooth this out a little bit, we should not be able to go to walk if we hit is an air. Because if we're jumping, we don't want to be walking like we were just then. And we can make sure that both of these conditions are true to go from idle to walk. There we go. And now you can see if we jump, we don't go to walking. Now if we're already walking like this and we jump, then we'll stay in walking because we haven't canceled, and that's okay, that's intended. How are you, Snatchin'? I see you lurking. I just opened your stream. How was Fortnite? Good question. Pretty good. I figured I would stream me playing the new season. The new season. So we can walk back and forth. That's pretty good. I'm actually going to increase the play rate just to try and match it better. There are better ways than how I'm doing it. More efficient ways, but the thing is, actually I think we pretty much nailed it though. That looks pretty good. Okay, cool. So yeah, now we have that looking all right. Now let's go ahead and put in our jump animation. Now the thing with jump is, first of all, we don't want it to loop. The thing with jump is, if you jump in your jump animation, right? Then, right, I did not give it any way to get there. Is an error. The thing is, first of all, it's a little delayed if you look for is an error. And returning, say we want to return to idle, then we want to have a landing, because otherwise it'll look like this. Okay, so you can see it here. But then he jumps and then he goes back to his idle in the air, which we don't want to do. We don't want him to be able to do that. Ooh, finally there's one good flavor and that is it. Same with Haribo in Germany. Dude, it is so sad. Haribo is so good. What are you talking about? What's the good flavor, though? That's the real question. What's the good flavor you're referring to? Because there's a lot of good flavors. Alright, at this point what we need to do is actually come up with the controls that we want, and or if we already have the controls, which we do in this case, make sure that they're named appropriately, and then bind actions to them. So we've got jump and move right, and those are actually fine. So if we go into our character, we go to the CPP, and these things are bound, right? Jump, release, and move right. And these are touch controls. So what we want to do is when we go into these functions, we determine the value, and then we determine the function we want to go to from there. So is an error is okay. It's an alright indicator, but the problem is an error does a check when, you know, if we're in the error. Well, you want to trigger the jump animation once you trigger the jump. I mean, it just makes sense to do it that way. So we have a jump function, but this is the A character jump function. So there's a few things we need to do. We need to make a new and improved jump function, first of all. And what we can do there is if we just make a... Where's my move right function? Move right. Okay, so we'll actually put this up at the top. We're just going to do void. I'm going to do jump. I'm going to do trigger jump, actually. And there's a reason I'm naming it that. But it's not too important right now. I'll keep the touch controls for now in case we want to experiment with that later. But I want to keep everything kind of together, so let's do this. All right. And now we don't want to call this anymore. We want to call jump. Actually, stop jumping is probably okay. But I will go ahead and override it anyway. Stop jump. And we'll call a character stop jumping. All right, so what we've done here after all that was just we basically rewrote the controls to when we press the key that is to jump, we call our own jump function and our own stop jump function when we release the key. That way we can override the logic. The move right is okay because I can just add stuff right in this function. Lemon and orange, strawberry green. Is it? Wait, is it? You're trying to explain me some programming stuff. Soon I will catch up. Oh, really? Nice. That is awesome. You're going to catch up in no time. You got a good teacher. Like, rule your league. Man, trying to explain some programming stuff. So, that's really cool, though. I can really appreciate that. It's just so much fun. It's just so enjoyable to make stuff. And usually, like, at work, I do, you know, I don't really do gaming stuff. So, the stuff I do is a lot more technical. And it's cool. It's fun. I'm proud of it. But, you know, sometimes it's just fun to just work on some random game. I like red and white the most. I think the clear ones are the best. Come on. I don't think green is strawberry. I think you're lying on that one, David. I don't trust you for a minute. In fact, you saying that, like, physically and visibly disgusted me. You can probably see it on my face, but I'm not faking. That is disgusting. There is no way that green is strawberry, and I want you to take that back. Yeah, strawberry is... Thank you. Get out of here. You come into this stream, and then you say strawberry is green. What is wrong with you? Who hurt you? Strawberry is black. Oh, you know what? It's fine. Everyone here in your Discord. I don't think Rule is. Why, did you want to post something? I mean, you can. Go for it. We can invite Rule if they want to join. I don't want anyone to feel obligated, but they're more than welcome to fake media. Okay, so here, we have our jump now. And what we can actually do is when we trigger the jump function, we can actually set a boolean. And when we release it, we can either stop having a boolean, or what we can actually do is trigger the animation directly, and then once they reach, you know, some point when that animation finishes, they go into the falling animation. When they land, we then reset them. So the way we can do that is, I forget exactly what function we have to override, but I think it's landed or something. I think it's just literally landed. Is it F hit? Fake news. Hold up. Before you all spew your hate toward me, actually was right. Did make strawberry green. I don't. The thing is, it makes no difference. It makes no difference at this point. You've already lost all validity by saying strawberry was green. I mean, that's, quite frankly, that's just how that works. I'm sorry. F hit result. So we're gonna override the landed as well. I forget exactly. Does this work how I think it is? It's been a bit. Can we override it right here, or do we need to do it through the character? Because I can't remember exactly where this is stored in here. No, it actually looks like that will work. And if I pass a hit, that should work. Right, Snatch and knows. Saying strawberry is green is like saying Painting Guardians did a good job. They did a terrible job, and you're terrible for saying it's green. I can't believe you. But what color are the leaves on strawberry? What color are the leaves on strawberry? You know, that's you know, I'm very close to just ending the stream, like right on the spot. Because when I heard that, something popped inside of me. Right, thank you. What color are the worms in strawberries? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right there, okay? You can't just use logic. You can't just use logic to make it work however you want. It's like saying apple, you know, you're not going to put yellow as the color in apple. Oh, there's yellow apple. Yeah, there's yellow apples. Everyone knows when you think of an apple, the first color you think of is red. I have no idea what's happening by green. So that's why they made strawberry green. Yellow. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ooh, favorite cartoon. Good one. Good one. Ooh, favorite cartoon? Avatar is a really, really good one, I will say. But my favorite cartoon of all time. Ooh, you know. Right. Dang it, what? There's a lot of good ones. My favorite cartoon of all time? You know, it might... You guys are going to so laugh at this, but this might have been it. Because as a kid, I really loved it. Well, actually, my favorite cartoon of all time as a kid was probably Yu-Gi-Oh! But my second favorite... Have you guys ever heard of something called Challenge Showdown? Because that's where it's at right there. If anyone knows that... and legitimately knows that, let me know. No, red apples are good. You're about to get timed out in the stream, I will say, for saying. You're saying very controversial things, saying red apples are the rogue company of all apples. Stop. You need to back up a bit. Back off my boy, apples. Alright, hold on. Let's get this working. So, we have trigger jump. And what we want to do is when I trigger this jump, I'm actually going to set a bool like has jumped. And yeah, it's not really necessary here, I will say, but it will make it a little bit cleaner in the long run if we were able to do it this way. Property, blueprint, read, write, edit anywhere. And we need to make it a Boolean. Call it has jumped. And I'm gonna also make a Boolean called has landed, just so we can get the timing on the jump and landing a little bit better. I eat my apples without the skin. I think they first made strawberry green because red was already... Oh, wait, red was... No. Stop. Are you kidding me right now? Was red given to raspberry first? It was definitely given to, like, apple or something, right? There's no way it was given to raspberry first. Freaking raspberries. I only eat green part of watermelons. I don't like the red part. No, it's on German Wikipedia. What is going on? Wow. Life is weird. Life is very weird. We're going to have has jumped and has landed. So basically, we only need these states. We only need these states when they're relevant for jumping and landing. So basically, I'll keep has jumped to true when we press the button. I'll put it to false when we release the button or when we land. And then has landed will be true when we hit the ground. But otherwise, has landed will be false when we jump. Okay. And at this point, we can now build, and we should be able to smooth out the jumping issues and make it look a lot nicer. Ooh, do you grill it? That is a hard test for me. Yeah, this is a very important conversation, okay? You know, I think everyone who looks back at this stream and watches this will be very interested in the outcome of this conversation. It's important, okay? You know, coding, you know, important scale coding, 3. Haribo conversation, 10. This is where it's at, okay? We need to get to the bottom of this right now. All right, so I need to be able to access this. I'm gonna need begin play, and what I'm gonna need to do is try get pawn owner. That's fine how it is. I'll move it down. And then we'll do cast to. We want our Twitch game character. As long as the cast succeeds, we're going to want to save out a reference to this. We'll just call it character reference. And what we can do then is if the pawn owner is valid, but the but this is invalid. So if this is valid, keep going. If this is invalid, then we're going to want to do the logic we have here. Something like that. You know, I don't want to make this too ugly. I don't like making things ugly. But something like that. Basically, we just need to make sure that we can get a reference to this. Only update if it's valid. And then if it is valid, we'll easily be able to set our values in the state machine. Or excuse me, get our values in the state machine. So we'll go to here, not if there is an error, but if the character reference has jumped is true. There we go. And then we can test this. Now, it'll be partially broken, but... See? There we go. So now it's slower, but it's not occurring because it has an error. It's occurring because we jumped. So we need to speed up the animation and also probably cut off some frames, but that's working. Now to go from jump to idle, we actually don't want is an error either. We want to make sure that has landed is true. Okay, so you can see once we hit the ground, it is working. Sometimes you get a little frame where you jump without it, and it's because you're actually hitting the idle animation and going straight out of it, as opposed to hitting this has jumped. Okay. I mix it and drink it. Sock hands. Try to get so violent when I say conjure. Sock hands. That's actually a good idea, Snatchin. We could try that. I have no problem doing that. I don't know. It's been a while for that one. Okay, we'll see if we can do that. Keyboard upside down, behind the back. Do you just rip your ears off and sew them on opposite sides? You better look at your chat now. Ooh, they're all good jams. All good jams. All good jams. Okay, wow. Alright. I don't know. I might have sock hands here. We got a few minutes left. Let's see. I have 2 socks. I can put them on and do sock hands like this. You won't really be able to see it as the whole thing, though. Like I usually let you see. There are socks. Yeah, there's 2 socks. Because I think it was Tara was saying sock hands when we did Dark Souls, and I was like, I gotta go get some socks. Okay. Should look pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. Oh, things are already going kind of bad. Let's see. Shouldn't impact it too much. So we have has jumped, and we don't really want to go from jump straight to land, though. So in my opinion, we need to edit this animation. So this is the has jumped animation. So first of all, we need to cut off some frames, in my opinion. So maybe just like that. Just cut it to where there's a few frames here. This animation is also insanely long frame-wise. But then once we reach the peak, essentially, we should sit somewhere like that and make a new animation out of this. So if we go to the palette and jump, we can open this in the asset browser, and then we can duplicate it and say Paladin, oh, sock hands, Paladin landed. Actually, we'll just say Paladin land, probably. You know, sock hands does make it a little bit more complicated, I will say. So for the jump, we can cut out all the frames before that. So the jump will essentially go here. And when we land, we can play Paladin land if we want. We may not need it. We will see. Let's actually just play it as is. Okay, so now the jump feels genuinely better because it just gets to the chase. So we can go ahead and add the land if we want. It's really not necessary. You know, we're not going for the best animations ever in our game. But to do Paladin land, all we gotta do is... Oh, he kind of lands like... He kind of lands and does not bend his knees at all, so it might not look any better to have Paladin land. But this is how you would do it. You would basically splice these two together. And we can try it. I don't think it's going to end up working out the way that animation looks. Land. Wow, typing with socks is not easy. Socks on, pants off. I like them socks. Yeah, I like these socks. They're pretty nice. We got Stormtrooper and Chewbacca. Thank you very much. He really is dramatic about it. That is what I'm talking about. Pasties. There's not enough skin to see. I'm not embarrassed. What am I embarrassed about? We do the whole joke about pants off. People who watch the stream know that. Real tight mittens. Doesn't look the way I planned. What are you going for? Good question. Okay, so we can go from jump to land and as opposed to idle. So we can actually take this. Whoops. We can actually take this, go to land. And we can actually take the jump to idle and remove that and actually just make it automatically go back to idle once we've landed. And that should smooth it out, but again, he doesn't really bend his knees, so it might end up just looking weird. I mean, it looks good. Like, it really does look good for what it is. He doesn't bend his knees, but it does complete the cycle. So that's perfectly fine. We can continue to use that. So the only thing is, if we're moving, if we're moving right or whatever, we should not be able to, we need to be able to go to jump as well. So we can do it right here. And now we can go from moving to jumping as well. And there we go. Now we're looking pretty darn good. We didn't put in the running animation because we don't have a command to do so, but that can be done on another stream. Snatch says, Sean, I'm heading out. Have a good one and be careful around green candy. Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you so much for coming by, guys. Snatch and Rule and David and Morgan and everyone. I appreciate that. We are going to probably wrap up the stream here. It's 8 o'clock. I feel we did really well today. We have different keys to open specific doors. We have a new character in where we can actually set all the animations as opposed to using the mannequin. So we can start getting into attacks and stuff next stream. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think we can wrap up here real quick. Is Sean ready to be big bald, pants off? Yes, I will answer that. Yes, since that poll was directed toward me, I am in fact ready to be big bald. Alright guys, so I think we will wrap it up there. I feel very good with where we've gotten. In the next episode, we'll cover the running. We'll cover a few more animations, probably basically focus on attacking at the moment. And we'll get more enemies in here and even some basic AI. Won't go too in-depth, but you know, just ones that move left to right or maybe even kind of swerve up and down like the Medusa head if we have a flying enemy, things like that. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back next Wednesday for some more Dark Souls on the Twitch channel, of course. And next Friday, we'll be back on YouTube for the programming live stream. We'll probably keep the programming live streams on YouTube from now on, just to keep it consistent. But I want to thank everyone who's been coming to these despite the changes to the schedule and the location every time. And you can check all these streams out at youtube.com. Shawnthebro27 channel. I was going to say /Shawnthebro27, but you actually can't. I don't have enough subscribers yet to be able to write my own URL. So, No, what will I do with the rest of my evening? I'm sorry, Rule. I don't want to ruin the rest of your evening, for real. I really do feel bad about that. But, I mean, you could stream. It's time for you to start streaming, if you don't already. But, no, so, yeah. I think that's about all I got to say, but thank you guys so much, for real. Rule, I am sorry to ruin your evening, but thank you. Thank you for coming by. We'll be playing more Dark Souls on Wednesday. Life will be okay, I promise. Yep. I think that's all I got. I'm trying to think of more to stall it for you to keep your evening going. It's okay. I'm trying my hardest. I just don't have the words, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for coming by. I love having you guys. It was so fun working on this with you. We'll continue working on this next Friday. So everyone, have a good night, have a good weekend, and I will see you next Wednesday if I don't talk to you earlier. Rule, would you real quick? Do you want to join the Discord, Rule? You don't have to. There's no obligations. You can say no. I won't be offended. Dave mentioned it earlier. I did want to give you the link if you are interested in joining it. If you're not, like I said, it's okay. But I do want to extend that offer to you in case you want it. I just tried to. Okay, did you may have joined. You may have joined. I didn't actually see. I can get you a link. Let me go to the Be Right Back screen because I don't want to showcase some stuff, but that's fine. You can. Good one, Morgan. Very good one. Okay, someone just joined. Actually, I just got the notification, but it was 7:43. So I think you're in. I believe that is you. So anyway, guys, I won't eat up too much more of your time. I am going to keep talking out over the stream ending, but I just want to say thanks again, guys, and have a great night, everyone. See you next week.